Buddies, yo! Hey, it's Concert Buddy, back making a dedicated video. Can you believe this stuff? Got some stuff to share. Awesome vinyl pickups from a recent excursion. I don't know if it was safe and sound, but it was a excursion to pick up some choice records, courtesy of Charlotte, North Carolina. And the Noble Records 5th, Carrie Von Erich, The Claw, 5th anniversary sale. What did I grab? What did I do? Was there ample amounts of barbecue involved? Short answer is yes. I'm going to tell you all about it coming up after the break. Come on, Mazzy loves this part. Yeah! Gotta be honest, buddies, it's been a hot minute since I've actually made a video. I've sat in this chair and made a video, not a live stream, not a appearance in other places of the vinyl community. No, I've been a little busy. That's probably the easiest way to say it. But I've been getting records along the way. I talk about them sometimes on Surface Noise, the A-side. Check your local listings. If you're watching this channel, you'll probably already see it's the live stream we do. Every week now, I do the A-side. Jason spins vinyl, does the B-side. We talk record collecting and some other nonsense related to the hobby. Check it out. But anyway, that's really where I've been kind of devoting a lot of my vinyl community time. But been planning on going to the 5th anniversary Noble Records extravaganza of black gold, black wax for a hot minute. A buddy of mine, Matt Sands, DJ Mellow Yellow. Oh, Matt, do you have any other names? I don't know. We've been kind of talking about doing this for over a year, and fortunately he couldn't join, but I still followed through. Had a really great time, and first and foremost, shout out to the homie Kendall. The channel is Spin Doctor and his Vinyl Mayhem. Could not have been a better bro to spend the time with. He was kind enough to pick me up at the airport, drop me off at the airport, drive me around, take me to record stores, pick me up at the hotel, yada, yada, yada. Could not have been a better host for this excursion. So I want to first and foremost give big props to him.
There's only one!
And my main focus was flying out to Charlotte and separating record stores from their inventory. It's like a community service. I'm helping. This is how I am giving back to the world at large. One record at a time. What a crock of shit. I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah, no, Kendall picked me up, took me to a barbecue spot, because you're in North Carolina, you're in the South. You gotta get some barbecue. Took me to this place called Gary's Barbecue. Gary's Barbecue. And it's exactly what you would think of a southern barbecue spot. Used to be, I think, a filling station, gas station, for those unfamiliar with the parlance. And it was a solid spot. The banana pudding was on point. Pulled pork is what you do when you're in the South. You gotta get that pulled pork Sammy. A solid way to kick off the adventure. Then we went to a couple record stores. I'm not gonna get into a lot of the record store stuff. The stuff I picked up from those record stores, from Lunchbox, Mad Jacks, the Hardy Boys or something. I thought the Hardy Boys was like a book series or the wrestling tag team. Shout out to Matt and Jeff. Apparently it's a vendor that sells records. Actually, I will show one of those records here because it was pretty awesome. And then obviously the coup de grace, the main event, the main attraction was the Dillon Smith Noble Records 5th anniversary drop. And there are some substantial records available at the ready.
What did you say? What the fuck did you just say?
So the quick backstory is Noble Records, it's 5th anniversary, a lot of heat, all the above. When I went into this, I was thinking that, yeah, I'd probably have to line up. They open, I think, at 10 o'clock local time. I've been to the store before. I've been 2021, I think. Dillon likes to think that was the greatest day in his life after his marriage and the birth of children. Clearly, probably doesn't even remember coming into the shop, but I'd been there before. And like I said, Matt Sands, Vinyl community, you know people, and if you don't know them, you know somebody who knows them, whatever. Dillon was in Austin. I ran into him there. Super cool guy. But Kendall, again, Spin Doctor and his Vinyl Mayhem, check it out. He had said that for these drops, that it's kind of like record store day. Like there's a big line, and it's a little chaotic.
You sound insane. Do you realize that?
I really wasn't expecting that. Like, my local stores will do their drops. Like Billy Hurst, shout out to Billy Hurst. He does his drops on Saturdays. A lot of stores, side note, Kendall and I talked about this, a lot of shops do their drops on Saturdays, and I'll probably have to do a deep, deep dive onto why that is. Somebody had to start that. I don't think Dillon started it. I know Billy didn't start it. I wonder where that started in terms of the big used drops on Saturdays. But anyway, we're totally getting off topic. Kendall had said, yeah, it's like record store day. He even said one time he lined up at 2 a.m. Again, 10 a.m. open, 2 a.m. And he was second in line. So he plants that seed. And hopefully you're not this type of record collector. Hopefully you're not a competitive goofball like I am from team sports over the years. But when he planted that seed, it was kind of like Total Recall. They planted that thing up his nose at, 2 a.m. Oh, man. So we actually stopped by. I went to the record stores Friday beforehand. Actually swung by Noble briefly. So just kind of like say, hey, and kind of get a lay of the land. Kendall's kind of giving me some pointers, all this kind of stuff. And we kind of talked with this guy, Logan, who works there. You've probably seen him on the Noble Records video channel. He works for Dillon at the shop. He said, yeah, I don't know if you need to do 2 a.m. So took that advice, said, let's just do 4 a.m. That's not too wild, but also, there's some legitimate heat. Like you need the oven mitt. The oven mitt's usually for hot takes, but you need this to probably hold those records. And I didn't bring them, so I am still recovering from 3rd degree and 4th degree burns. But we decided 4 a.m. Kendall picked me up a little bit beforehand at my hotel, and we got there. Technically we could have been first in line. There's nobody at the door. I was like, oh, snow. We are the first ones here. But there was a dude and his dad in a truck sleeping. Too early. The person, they came from Virginia. We got to talk to them a little bit in line. They were the true number ones. They were the true OGs of this record excursion that day. But so we were like 3rd and 4th. Anyway, opens up at 10. He just like dart in. Of course, my goofy ass, I'm more worried about getting this Bass Pro Shop inspired hat. Because I said they only had about 4 of them. We walk in and it was like, shiny object. Kendall had to like grab on my shirt. He's like, records are over here. I was like, I kind of was on a different level, different broken. Again, we had been there since 4. My bladder was literally about to rupture. I mean, think about it. I couldn't even use the toilet. There's no toilet available for, you're talking about, I can't even count, 4 to 5, many hours. But anyway, a lot of records on the wall. That's where a lot of high heat was. And in honest to goodness fashion, my number 1 draft pick was going to be the Nirvana Bleach 1B pressing. So the 1A is the white vinyl and what's called the 1B. Some call it the second pressing is the black vinyl. That's something on my list. It's been on my list. In fact, Matt at his shop, the Gold Pan, actually had it once, and I drug my feet for a millisecond, and Travis Foley of the Vinyl Zone record store came and got it right from under me. I didn't even know this. I asked a question. Don't shoot first, ask questions later. So I missed out on that copy like a year ago. Travis, you got me on that one. I know you're watching this.
Go fuck yourself.
But so anyway, I saw the drop video, the flip that Dillon had shared, which is always a great idea. I sincerely appreciate that because then you know kind of what's going to be there. And keep in mind, I had already planned my trip. I was coming regardless. He could have had a bunch of hot trash. I still would have came. And that's what I would caution any person traveling for record shows, meetups, etc. Temper your expectations because you may not get exactly what you're going to get. So once you get in that kind of mind frame, even though you get a 2 a.m., Kendall had planted that in the back of my skull, once you kind of just relax, go to have a good time. It's all going to be good. And in fact, I had a really good time. I know you want to see the records. I'm sorry, I'm just telling the story. But, Kendall and I are third and fourth. Another cat shows up. Then Dave, I think his channel name currently is Local Bandography. I think he's also been the VC ambassador. Didn't know him that well. And, man, this guy's a great storyteller, great record collector. I've seen him on the Jazz Bums live streams a couple times. And I could not have been more pleasantly surprised at what a great dude this is. So he had to actually leave after the record drop at Noble because he wasn't feeling good. So I hope if you watch this, Dave, I hope you're feeling better, dude. And then, some more people show up. He came about 4:30. More people showed up. The Digital Gramophone John, I think he came maybe 8 something. And then the man, the myth, the legend, Steve Bender. You may know him as the Zonk Man. The Zonk Man has such good energy. I've seen him in videos. Steve Carlson's talked about him a lot. In fact, when Steve Carlson knew I was coming to North Carolina for this event, first person he said was the Zonk Man. He's like, man, I'm jealous you're going to see the Zonk Man. So anyway, all those guys were great. We went and got some more barbecue afterwards. Great hang, great talking to those guys. And to be honest, the records are fantastic, but it sounds really hokey doke. But man, just hanging with like-minded record collectors, good people, good dudes, it's awesome. So anyway, all in all, good time. I also want to shout out the folks I didn't get to see. I was hoping to see Eric Weinbender, but he's in a part, they had this terrible tornado came through Helena or something, and really mucked up the inner part of North Carolina, South Carolina, and unfortunately his area got all tore up. So hope to meet him one day because he's always been a cool guy that I've interacted with virtually, of course. And then, of course, my classmate, my vinyl community classmate, we started our channels about the same time. That's Matt and Stacy, Vinyl Reckoning. I was hoping to see them, didn't work out. So one of these days, I think this is our second swing at trying to connect. One of these days, it's going to be like Arnold and Carl Weathers and Predator. It's going to be intense. So I think that's why the buildup is continuing to stew and grow. But I couldn't enjoy those guys more again virtually. So I look forward to meeting them one day. But anyway, doors opened at 10, mad dash. I'm goofy guy looking for the hat. Kendall grabs my arm, and I pick up some records. Is that enough of a long story before I show you the flipping records? Let's go.
Oh, trifling. Shut up.
So I know what you're thinking. Concert Buddy, don't you already have an OG of this? I do. This is Nirvana Nevermind. Of course I do. Of course I do. But I don't have, and this is where the hobby can kind of really pull you if you're a completionist. This is the ORG Press 2009. So this is, I believe, the first time that Mr. Bernie Grundman got his hands on some of this and mastered it. And this is one of the ones I don't have. I thought I did. I've got some subsequent Bernie Grundman reissues, but I don't have the ORG. This is where the sickness takes over, buddies, I'm telling you. But if you really enjoy this album means a lot to you, like it means a lot to me and my musical voyage from a Ute to a man-child, if you will. And like, oh no, I shouldn't do that. But anyway, there's some nudity on this. But anyway, Dillon had us on the wall. I would say this was probably in my like A tier, B tier. I'd say like B plus tier is right on there. So once I saw it on the wall, a very fair price, grabbed it. Vinyl is choice. So I shouldn't do that for obvious reasons. Anyway, happy to add this one to the collection.
Yeah.
So this heavyweight, like literally heavyweight, this 2006. It's on that heavyweight 180 gram vinyl. This is, if you know, I like Eric Clapton live, probably one of my favorite, let's call them legacy artists. This album's called The Road to Escondido. This is J.J. Cale, and of course, Mr. Clapton, Eric. He's in the back of the turn-up truck, looks like, with his guitar. This came out 2006. I believe it was 2014, 2011, one of those. Correction, you'll see it on the screen. There was a reissue. That's the one I already had. This is the original. And when they flashed it in the little drop video, I was like, oh, piqued interest activated. And when we stopped by, like I said, we stopped by the shop the day before. Logan said, yeah, it's real hard to identify this as the original versus that reissue. You have to like look, again, the nuances of printing and where things are on the back cover, etc. So anyway, this was one that this is an A tier. I was very interested in this. And in fact, Kendall, being a good bro that he is, grabbed it from the wall right in front of me. Again, I stopped first for this big heavy I'm about to show you. Grabbed it. It had become my number one. Kendall grabbed this for me, said boom, and it's something we were both interested in because he's a Clapton guy too. And I was like, yo, sure you don't want this? Right of first refusal. He's like, no, I'm good. So anyway, this is, and I think if you know anything about Clapton's career, these guys have collaborated before, and in fact, I believe Cocaine was actually originally written by J.J. Cale, and Clapton covered it and took it to probably you're more used to hearing his version. I think he did that for a couple of J.J. Cale songs. But anyway, happy to add this OG. It's on that Duck Records. That's kind of like Eric's own label imprint off of Reprise. But anyway, Score City. It's the main event, folks. This is... I have to exhale because this is a legit. This is a stone. I mean, you hear people say near mint, stone cold, stunner. So first of all, let's get into this. Is the Zombies Odyssey into Oracle 1968. This comes out. Psych rock, pop rock, avant-garde rock, whatever you want to call it. The band actually, I think the word when I was doing some research on this, quietly disbanded after this release. This is hard to find as a record collector in general. It's been reissued several times. In fact, the copy I currently have in my collection before this big dog takes its rightful spot on my shelves. It's like the reissue from, let's call it 2020, 2021-ish. But this, and I think Dillon might have mentioned it in the flip, saw it in the flip, but I didn't really digest the flip having this until we were kind of in line, we were kind of talking and before they opened. And then it kind of dawned on me, like the odds of finding this, again, my number one had been the Nirvana Bleach record, but you kind of got to level set and be like, okay, I've seen it for sale a couple different places. It's on Discogs now, you go on eBay, finding this. And folks, I'm telling you, I mean, I can't even do this justice. This is the first U.S. press 68 Pittman. I mean, this thing, I don't know if you can see the spine. Like, this is like right off of the pressing, the floor. I mean, this thing is immaculate. And so when I grabbed it off the shelf, again, after I was looking at shiny objects with this hat back here, went and grabbed this. First thing I grabbed. And it said near mint, right? Dillon or whoever logo made near mint on the record on the plastic sleeve. And this thing, here it is. Here you go. Near mint. I don't know if that comes up. Near mint. Folks, this thing, not just the jacket being like insanely awesome, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can really, can you surf? Can you see the sheen on this guy? I mean, look at this sumbitch. I mean, this is immaculate. Is there a grade above near mint? Is that immaculate? Because this thing is, I'll hold it again, insane condition. I don't know if this came in a collection. I don't know if this is a backup copy. I don't know how Dillon got his hands on this. But man, this is... So anyway, I've puffed it up enough. Bleach then was downgraded from number one. This became my number one, and I'm so beyond happy. Again, you pay for what you get. So I did pay on this one. But here's the reality, folks. Where am I going to find this in this condition if I ever do find it? The time to strike, like I've said on the channel before, Mike Wolf, American Pickers. First of all, shout out to Frank Fritz, passed away this week. A lot of people dying this week. It's insane. John Amos and Chris Christopherson, Pete Rose. But anyway, Frank Fritz, that was a real sad one because I used to love American Pickers. And Mike Wolf has a saying, if you've never seen it before, the time to strike is like, that's when you should get it. So I always think that's always my approach if it's something I've never seen before. I've never seen a copy in the wild. If I have, it was beat the shit. So then you have to kind of do what we call a cost-benefit analysis. I wanted that Nirvana, but I can probably find that. may take a minute, may take some time. Like Jason Rojas has said to me before, like, the records will find their way to you. And it's true. So you got to be patient. You got to relax. But this, man, I'm never going to see something like this. In this condition, come on. Like, this is it. This is the, and slowly, as I've been finally getting my record room under control, I'm really leaning into like top copy. Like, I want to get for my collection the best copy I can. It's not going to get any better than this, buddies. I'm telling you. So anyway, shout out to Dillon for making this part of the Concert Buddy collection, because this is MC Hammer, too legit to quit. Yo, awesome.
Treat yourself.
So, buddies, I got one more record to show you. I know you're on the edge of your seat. You may be on your seat in the bathroom watching this on your device, wherever you're watching it. Thank you, of course. So I'll have a flip video at the end to show everything I picked up on this trip.
Those are facts, man. Yeah.
Afterwards, like I said, we went and got some barbecue, and then we had a little time to kill. So Dillon took me to this Hardy Boys. This Hardy Boys enterprise has a couple different locations, and he was explaining they're like stores within the stores. They probably co-op with like antique stores and stuff. But there was a location someone had tipped us off to. I think it was Dave, local band discography, VC ambassador. He had said, I think in line, I think if my memory serves, hey, they've got like a new location. Kendall never been to it. Hey, we got some time to kill before I go back to the airport. Let's go. And we went to this place. It was kind of like an old railroad track facility that they're rehabbing, a very kind of, let's call it contemporary move that a lot of cities are doing. St. Louis has done a couple of enterprises like this, taking old denigrated buildings and turn them into like retail space, restaurants, dining, etc. I think this was kind of the same vibe. And so this Hardy Boys spot was like a legitimate store dedicated to records. And they had a record on the wall that I'm going to show you that I'm telling you, I need the pot holder. This is going to be some stuff. And that record is Metallica, Ride the Lightning. Now this is the original pressing. And you say, oh, I can get original pressing. Yeah, again, you can find these, right? But kind of going back to what we're talking about between the Nirvana, the white, and the black. This is the true first pressing. Here's how you know. Because it's on the silver Megaforce label. That's side B. I don't have this proper, but silver Megaforce label. I already have a copy on Elektra of the black and red label, but the true first pressing is that silver Megaforce label. That was the label they originally on when they dropped Kill 'Em All, 1983. And then when they followed up with Here, Ride the Lightning, I think 95, 86. They're still on Megaforce, and then they made the move to Elektra. I don't know the whole, I don't know if they signed with Elektra, they got the contract sold. I don't know any of that stuff, but I do know that this is the original, and I've done the dance for this particular copy for a hot minute, a couple times. I've come close. But I mean, this jacket's in really fair shape. I mean, it's got a couple, I don't know, boo-boo holes. I don't even say holes. A couple of marks. I don't know if a vampire was trying to bite this. You know, you got Cliff's face there, Cliff Burton, the legend. But the one that made this real fun for me, besides being a silver label, is it came with this fan club insert that I've never seen before. And I know it's part of the complete package. Remember I was talking about top copy? Top copy can mean condition. It can mean the original. It can mean sharp corners. It can mean a lot of things. But sometimes these records, when they're released, come with these inserts. Fan club, get a t-shirt, a calendar, get some boxer shorts, whatever. And this was inside when I asked to see it off the wall. And that's what sold it for me, because I've been, like I said, I've been looking for this for a minute, have taken my time and patient, came close a couple times. I came close once, actually, in Round Rock, Texas, at Piranha Records. They had a copy. I was actually trying to get it for a little cheaper, and it was considerably tougher condition, worse condition than this copy. So again, if you wait, be patient. Don't take that first bite if you don't need to. But didn't have this, and this is what sold me on it. So anyway, happy to add that to the collection. Oh.
Tonight you will get your PhD, yeah, in pain, from the master, the ruler of the world.
All right, buddies, let's play that flip video. Roll that beautiful bean footage now. So, buddies, I got some great stuff, but more importantly, from great records was great fellowship spent with, again, Kendall, chauffeuring me around, being a great buddy, and obviously the other VC folks, Dave, John, Steve Bender, Zonk Man, and Dillon. Shout out to Dillon. Again, 5 years. It's not easy to do. You can tell the reverence that the locals have for what Dillon does for their community in terms of putting these kind of awesome pieces to the local community first, as he kind of does when he does these drops, and then he sells them if he needs to in other places. And I know Dillon keeps begging, like, this guy's begging to be on the podcast. He was on a podcast episode with Matt and Sam before. I think it was our anniversary episode. But like Dillon, like, guys calling me all the time, texting me, shout me out on whatnots, all those kind of things, because he wants to be on the podcast. So maybe we'll make that happen. Maybe that will be a surprise down the road on Vinyl Community Podcast, just a one-on-one. The Brahma Bull with Hollywood Hogan, Dillon Smith. Anyway, buddies, thanks for watching. I know this is a little bit longer video than I try to make, but it was an excellent adventure. Bill and Ted, eat your heart out. But until we meet again, buddies, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Check out Surface Noise every week if you can. But until we meet again, when you get the chance, just spin it. See you soon.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
Well, we out of time.